If you've been following my channel for a little bit, you'll know that my husband and I decided to take on the challenge of spending 24 hours in one country because we found these really cheap flight tickets. And I wanted to show you guys exactly how it went. So this was us in the morning getting ready to go. These are the little earrings I mentioned in my packing video. If you haven't seen that yet, I will leave the card up on the right corner. And the first order of business for our trip was actually dropping off this little guy with my mom because unfortunately he did not come with us on our trip. We had a little scenic route to my mom's house and to the airport. We live right next to the ocean, and after dropping him off, we headed on to the airport. We were there about an hour and a half before our flight just because we didn't want to spend too much time there, and we had lunch there, and because it was the middle of the week, we brought our work with us and I did some work in the airport before we took off for 3 hours to Malta. Because we took off at 5 p.m., we landed at 7 p.m. local time 1 hour later, and one of the only things we did was walk around and go find our hotel. I have to say that the area we stayed at was really nice. It was the Londoner Hotel in the St. Julian's area. I don't know how expensive it would be during the high season, but off season it cost us 50 euros total with breakfast included, and as you can see is a very spacious modern room. After we dropped off our bags, we headed on down to Spinola Bay to have some traditional Maltese dinner. I don't know how to say that. And one of the things that immediately captured me was the absolutely beautiful architecture that they have all over the city. A little bit later into the video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, but we went down to the bay like I mentioned, and we had dinner at this place called Gululu, and they had traditional try everything kind of menu. I think it was around 40 euros per person, and they just brought you a huge selection of local food. So we thought this was a really express way to kind of dive into their cuisine. We started with these entrees. It was like a bean paste, ricotta, cream. My husband tried their traditional beer or their local beer, and then they brought out these little vegetable patties, these fried shrimp and fish, and then grilled fish and grilled little burgers with potatoes on the side. The next day we woke up and had breakfast at our hotel. It had a nice little selection. It was perfect. And we were off. It was 8 in the morning and we had a tour booked. I will leave the link in the description for the tour that we did. It's a tour that basically picks us up in a little van, dropped us off in the 3 cities, is what they're called. It's like the traditional 3 cities of Malta, and just took us on a walking tour of that area. I think you could easily do this by yourself if you don't like knowing the history. If you do enjoy finding out a little bit more about just the local history, how the place came to be, the wars that they went through, then I highly recommend the tour that I'm going to leave down below. Just do know that it's a lot of walking, so take comfortable shoes. I think one of the things that fascinated me the most about this location was just the absolute color everywhere. They have these traditional little windows. I actually brought a cute souvenir, which I will show you guys later in this video, but they have these cute little red, blue, yellow, green houses all over the place, and it's amazing for photography if you're into that, but just it feels like walking through a little storybook. My husband and I at one point said that it kind of felt like walking through Disneyland in a way because everything looks so tiny and curated. The buildings are really short. This is the souvenir I was telling you guys about in little postcards. This tour does include a boat trip, which even if you don't do this particular tour, I highly recommend doing a little boat tour on their traditional Uzis. If someone from Malta is watching this, please feel free to correct me in the comments because I know I'm butchering all of this. But yeah, they take you in these little motorized traditional boats and you get to enjoy the view of both Valletta, the capital city of Malta, and the 3 cities right from the ocean. It's beautiful and it's actually a very fun, efficient way to see a lot. If you're not doing the walking tour, then at least do the boat tour. The boats are really beautiful, guys. They're so colorful. I don't know if you heard the Cuban music at the beginning of this video, but that's the vibes that I got. It was giving me Encanto vibes, you know, the Disney movie. That's exactly what this felt like. Malta was the set for a lot of different movies and shows like Game of Thrones. At noon, they shoot this cool Canon. I'm gonna let you hear it. And we got to this viewpoint just in time to see it, so we thought that was very cool. And after that, we continued the tour just through these little gorgeous neighborhoods. I don't know if it was just because it was off season or what was going on, but we were literally the only people there besides the locals, and it just felt like getting kind of a sneak peek view into the local daily life. As you can see, a lot of color, a lot of details, a lot of tradition. So we thought it was beautiful. We will definitely be coming back to Malta properly because these 24 hours, let me tell you guys, as beautiful as they were definitely not enough time to enjoy this beautiful country. After we were done with our tour, which ended at about 2 p.m., we got in an Uber, which, by the way, I highly recommend as a method of transportation around Malta because it is very affordable. And we just headed on over to Mdina, which is known as the Quiet City. And we let ourselves explore, walk around. We'd never really read up on it before, and we were very pleasantly surprised. It was recommended all over the internet. Of course, other than the tourists, this is what it sounded like the whole time. There was birds chirping, it was really quiet. We just got to enjoy all of the architecture, and at one point we stopped for food at the Fontanella Tea Garden, which is very well known. It's very busy, but we didn't have to wait that long for seats. So I do recommend. They have a little bit of everything, and the best selling point for me is that you can go upstairs and eat with this marvelous view of just the whole countryside. They have traditional cakes, they have pizzas, they have crepes, basically anything that you'd want they have. And we tried their traditional cake, which was chocolate and nuts, and we also had a pizza because we were starving. After we explored the cathedral and a little bit more of the Mdina, exited the walled area of the city and walked over to what's called Rabat, and it's just the nearby village, the next door village. And again, very beautiful, very traditional. We hopped into a few stores, we bought some spices to bring back home. I bought a really cool pillowcase that's now sitting on my office, and we just enjoyed the colorful houses and the beautiful architecture that is all over. Our last stop was what's known as the best Pastizzi spot. It is called the Serkin, and the Pastizzis are just these fried little pastries that have ricotta inside, but you can also get them with chicken and other things, and they were 60 cents, so affordable. After that, we got into an Uber back to the airport. The airport is conveniently located like 10 minutes away from St. Julian, and by 9 p.m. we were back home, so it was really a very, very short trip. Let me know in the comments if you'd ever do something this crazy. We were exhausted, but very, very fulfilled. We felt satisfied, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!